Good morning, friends. How are you guys doing? I hope you are all well. My name is Rabbit, and welcome to episode number 66 of Let's Blindly Play Through the Granstream Saga on the original PlayStation. My friends, we talked about this at the end of our last episode, but I'm going to call it that this will be our final episode of this blind run together because in our previous episode, and as you can see on your screens, we were successful in defeating Damar. So he had just faced his demise at the hand of, or I should really say the blade of Eon. We did opt to choose to sacrifice Arcia in our previous episode. So the ending sequence that we are about to witness at the start of this episode will be, I guess, with us and Laramie, and then immediately following, the end cutscenes and all of that good stuff with Laramie. I will then redo the entire fight on my own. I will make sure you guys see at least the conversation with Laramie when I choose to sacrifice her, and then we'll see what the other ending / outcome would have been if we ended up choosing to preserve Arcia's life instead of preserving Laramie's. So let's just get this ball rolling. Again, this first section or this first ending that you're going to see will be with Arcia having been the sacrifice. So Laramie is the one that I preserved in our previous episode. So okay, we defeated Damar, which really wasn't too bad. I was also talking to you guys about this during the fight, that it really wasn't too tough once you figured out his attack patterns and everything. So anyway, Eon says, I did it, Arcia, but now I must disappear with this evil world as atonement for my sins. No, Eon, this new world will need you. The people will need your guidance to find peace. Laramie will need you too. I'm honored to have helped bring an end to the evil. Good luck, Eon. This is goodbye. Arcia. Oh, poor Arcia. Eon, what about Arcia? We have experienced so much. You and I really need some time to heal. We've both lost so many loved ones. It's too painful. Do you feel the same? I'm not sure, Laramie. I try to think about how this new world can have such hope about the future. But for us, so much has already been lost that it's hard to be optimistic. I'm not sure how long it will take for the pain to go away. I think we both need some time to heal. Let's part for a while until seeing each other will not bring so many memories. Oh, that's terrible! So we're not even going to get together? Don't you agree? Yes, I think that's a good idea. I'm sure in time we can find happiness. Look, our world is appearing again. We can go home now. Thank you, Arcia. You enabled all of this to happen. I think you have done the most honorable deed anyone could ever do. I never really were as close to Eon as you were. So yeah, that's what I thought, that Arcia and Eon, that's probably the true ending that the game wanted. But I guess it's good that they still gave you the option. But this already does not feel as happy as you would expect. Anyway, but I care about him too. I will see you again, Eon, won't I? Of course. Hopefully it's still a happy-ish ending, even if the Arcia ending is the true happiest of endings. Oh, but let's see.
I have completed my journey and finished the last chapters of my chronicle.
You've done well in studying these people, Arcia. I had considered them too evil to be worthy of more of my time and attention.
There's so much to learn about these fascinating people. Sometimes they're immature and primitive, but for the most part, they're very intelligent and compassionate.
It is obvious that more work must be done. I want you to continue working on your chronicles.
Yes, as you wish.
So, was she talking to God? And is she now a spirit and will still oversee us? But I thought her soul was gone. I don't know. Eon has defeated Damar and the world is peaceful. That doesn't make any sense to me, because that makes it seem like Arcia transcended and she's not actually fully gone. So was she actually toying around with humans too and was just studying the human condition? I don't understand that at all. But I guess they didn't want it to be totally awful and that you sacrificed one of the most noble and kind-spirited people in existence. So I guess they felt like they had to tie her back together somehow. But I guess that was God, right? Because Hades would have been the underworld, which is where the Ma'os were. So I guess Arcea is either like one of God / Zeus's / whomever's daughters, and she was tasked with helping the world to be peaceful and to making sure humans could thrive, or I don't know, maybe she's just researching them and she's neutral in all of this. That's what it seems like. Anyway, Eon has defeated Damar and the world is peaceful. Almost a year has passed. Oh, so will we get back with Laramie? Aw, a year has already passed, and the people of Shilf feel safe and secure. Elderly man's house. Oh, now the children can have hope for the future. I hope they will appreciate how their lives were saved. The granddaughter says, "Did that boy save the other continents?" "Yes, but why do you ask about him?" "Well, didn't you think he was very handsome?" "He was quite a strapping young boy." "Hey, didn't he take the book about the ocarina?" "Oh, I think I gave it back." "How rude. I wouldn't want to marry a thief. I put it back." "Why do you look so sad?" "Are you already looking for a husband?" "Yes, but don't worry. I'll still come and visit with you often." You seem so young." "Everyone seems young to you." Okay, this girl's a little sassy. "I'm not sure if I'll live to see her become a bride, but at least I know that her future is bright." Is it? She called me a thief, and I think I gave the ocarina book back. Maybe I didn't. So that might have affected that ending too. I might have picked it up again. I don't remember. That was so long ago. The town of Pikshim is back to normal. Families which were divided have been reunited, and all have become wiser about what they believe and who they trust. And they probably dragged Salila out by her hair and hung her out to dry. Mother, I wonder where she is. I miss having Eon and his friends around. Oh, it's you. I'm glad Afto's okay. Gisela says, Afto, I have a present for you. A present? It isn't another fish, is it? Fish is good for you. I really wish you would try and eat healthier. I just don't like the way it smells. Thanks anyway. Eon and his friends seem to like fish. I miss them. However, they never did return that amulet. Yeah, Eon was very kind to help us. Afto, you just need to grow a little older. Then you may be able to join your friends. I hope I grow up to be a hero like Eon. Oh, my mother would be so proud. She already is. Oh, is she dead? This boy is going to become a fine gentleman. He will carry on the legacy of his parents by uniting the world. She might have died. We ended up talking to her in Hades. I don't know why she would have died, because she was alive when we left. So I don't know. But I said it way back when all that stuff was going on, that if anyone needed to die, it should have been her. The towns of Orkul and Tolku suffered extensive damage from the volcanic eruption, but with renewed hope, the people are rebuilding. They hope to make the towns more prosperous than ever, so that their children will have a wonderful place to grow old. Well, that's nice. The Tolku meeting place. I wonder if that little girl feels better. Geint says, I'm no longer needed to check everyone's weight. Now I am unemployed and bored stiff, but since no one is concerned about their weight anymore, maybe I'll open a restaurant. All the women are already beginning to get nice and fat. I'm looking forward to serving many kinds of pies and other varieties of desserts. That's so funny. And the town of Geltania. So last but certainly not least, I don't think anyone will ever repopulate this place though. Even though many airships were built in the New World, not many came to Geltania. The gate to the spirit world was buried deep in the sand. Karak was gone, and all became very quiet. Amongst the ruins, Laramie waits patiently for Eon to return. It has been a long time now. So, Laramie's just been living here by herself? Where did Eon even go?
Laramie, today you have become a Desbat pirate. You are now a warrior and will conduct yourself as one. Do not call me brother. I am now your commander.
Aye, aye, sir.
Isn't he dead too?
How dare you walk into a lady's bedroom without knocking?
Huh? I'm sorry, but I didn't know where I was.
Oh, or she just remembering? I think those were just memories, so scratch what I said. I think Slazer's gone. Well, this is terrible. Are we not going to reunite? Oh, we did come back. It's been so long. Is that it? Are we going to say anything? I guess that was Arcia closing the book. And Eon and Laramie get to be together? I don't know. That wasn't a great ending, but as I've already mentioned, it is clear that the intention is for you to be with Arcia. Which, you know, is fine. I will say, though, as an aside, while we let the little ending credits roll, that for me personally, I think if a game is going to take the time to put in multiple endings, I know that not all of them should have, oh god, the shower scene. I know not all of them should have equal weight because, you know, different outcomes in life, they're not all the same, right? You know, if you really loved one person more than another, ending up with one is not going to be as satisfying as if you had ended up with the one that you do technically prefer. But I think in this case, the story, the way that it ended with everyone dying and you were accompanying these two girls from pretty much the beginning anyway, I think they could have done a better job of equalizing your connection to them both. And I agree with what Laramie said, that it really did feel like the way the story was laid out was for you to naturally have a more meaningful relationship with Arcia. Again, that's fine. I think that does reflect real world relationships as well. You can have affections for more than one person, and maybe one, though, is more of a spiritual connection, while the other one may be more a connection of convenience and interests. You know what I mean? So you can love two people, I think, equally, but that love can still be manifested in different ways, or the connections can be in different capacities. I just, though, still feel like, in terms of the story, so, you know, even removing this ending with Laramie, because we're going to see what it looks like with Arcia, I'm going to call it now that I think it's going to be more of a feel-good ending, and it will probably resolve at least some of the little nagging feelings I have at the back of my head. But, I mean, I guess this wasn't technically a bad ending. I mean, Eon did come back. He did give Laramie her coral necklace back, and they embraced in the sunset, and the world is positive. So I guess we can assume that the two of them will be together. They'll move somewhere and be the two heroes, or at least the two people that managed to live in the, I guess, this is the current world, though. It wasn't really a reincarnated world. So maybe, I don't know. And it was told to us that Arcia's soul was gone forever, so I'm guessing she will not ever return to any of these earths that come back. Probably more of what's going to happen is, I'm guessing, she just stays in heaven or wherever she was as Zeus's right-hand woman or one of his scholars or whatever, and she just observes people, and that's it. That might be her duty and her role. Or her closing the book could have been her being sad because she knows that she was Arcia and Princess Elamira. I don't know. I don't know if that version of her that was with Zeus, well, did he call her Arcia? I don't think he did. Because if he did call her Arcia, that would make a little less sense because she was also Elamira. I don't know, you guys. I feel like there were so many plot points that just got thrown at you at the very end of this game. The beginning made so much more sense, and I thought it was very charming, very heartwarming, and I liked the game overall. I would say the first 3/4 of the game, I would give probably like an 8 out of 10 or, 4 out of 5, whatever. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Combat, was a bit all over the place, but I also sucked, so I can't penalize the game for that. I do think it would have benefited from having a tutorial that actually explained how to fight much better than I was able to piece together on my own, but that's neither here nor there. So I do think combat was a little unexciting, but overall, I enjoyed the dungeon crawling for what it was. I enjoyed the character interactions. The game was pretty linear, almost to a fault, where sometimes you would discover where you needed to go or what you needed to do, but you hadn't talked to the right person yet, so you could not progress because you had not checked all the boxes that the developers wanted you to check before whatever event was activated. So I don't like that, but I liked the music a lot. Even this ending music is so beautiful. Yeah, I'd say 4 out of 5 is what I would have given the first 3/4 of this game. But this last quarter, it's a jumbled mess. I still don't understand the connection with the Ma-O. I don't understand the whole reincarnation aspect. It seemed to me like Laramie and Eon, they did not get reincarnated because we still were in the present world. So we defeated the Ma-O and we stopped the cycle. So does that mean when all of the events were over that the world will just continue as it is? So maybe that's more of what they meant when they said like Slazer and Arcea's souls will be gone forever, because there will not be any more reincarnations, I guess. There won't be any recycling of the world. There won't be these cyclical events transpiring anymore because we've kind of severed what was creating that issue to begin with. So maybe that's what it's really saying, and now people, when they die, they truly do ascend, I guess. And that might be what we saw with Arcea, is that she ascended and was able to look over everyone. I guess that might actually be... Oh, they spelled Laramie with a Y instead of the E. But we see who played who. Gandor was Mona Marshall. Mona Marshall! That name is familiar. Was that the voice actor for Musashi and Brave Fencer Musashi? Don't hold me to that. And I don't have my phone right on me to look. But that name is very familiar. I think she did play Musashi and Brave Fencer Musashi. But again, that's an aside. So, anyway, I'm guessing that's what happened, is we destroyed Damar, and I guess officially overturned the cyclical events that kept happening with the world being reborn in this chaos and people being reincarnated, and now when they die they just ascend and they're in heaven, or they go to hell. I don't know, didn't really say, but it looks like Arcea went up and Zeus or God or whoever chose her, and she now is studying the human condition. So I guess that's an appropriate ending for her, but kind of not. I don't know. I probably would have felt better about that if they had just not shown anything else about her. Because, you know, what happened to Slazer then? He followed the exact same fate that she did. But we didn't really have any resolution to his sacrifice. And I think that circles back to what I was starting to say. So I would have given the first 3/4 of this game probably an 8 out of 10. And then the last quarter, this last block of a few hours, ever since we had to backtrack to see these spiritual kings and these elemental kings who we really didn't even get an explanation as to their purpose and their value either. So why even make us talk to them? Because Corky still had to sacrifice himself for us to even remove the barrier. He had to merge with Carrick. So what was the point of even getting the elemental spirits? And then we go and we do all this stuff in that cemetery. We fought the Imperial wizardry, but wouldn't it have made more sense for us to just... I don't know. I think that this would have been an awesome anime. I think it had the cutest tale, the cutest characters, and I do think it was a remarkable journey in the sense that it wasn't too familiar. Yeah, there were tropes that obviously are familiar. It's a JRPG. Of course, we're going to see a lot of things, you know, reused that have been in other games, and we'll continue to pop up in other games or stories, in books or television shows, whatever. But so I'm praising that it was somewhat unique in how it presented the hero's tale and the hero's journey to you, but I think they must have had a whole lot of ideas in mind, and either due to budget restraints or time restraints, they were not able to implement everything, because I think the first 3/4 felt very cohesive and felt very unified, and then this last block, it was like, oh shit, let's throw every single plot point that we didn't have time to really unravel or plant any seeds about. We're just gonna plant them, water them, and harvest all in one go, and you can't do that. I think it was just way too abrupt, the way that a lot of elements got presented to you. Almost too late for you to even care about the motivations anymore. And I love it. Plot twists are great, but revealing Eon to be the Ma'o in the last 2 hours of the game, I think is ridiculous, and I don't think it didn't do anything for me. So, with that being said, the ending part, that last quarter, it took the game for me down from being like a 4 out of 5 to probably like a 3 out of 5. I just think that the ending was handled very sloppily. Everything was presented too abruptly. And as I already mentioned, I like that analogy. I think for a story to really make sense and to truly engage you, seeds need to be planted somewhat early, and they don't have to all get planted at the same time. You can have different things be revealed at different points, but I think you need to plant those seeds, then those seeds need to be watered, and it needs to be watered in a realistic way to where things begin to connect in your mind, or even emotional connections need to be made between you and the characters, or you and the narrative as a whole. And then I think that harvest can really happen, where everything is blooming and you're just like, oh my gosh, and you're really reaping what has kind of been laid out for you. I don't think this game did a good job of that. I think they did start out really strongly, and then it ended kind of flat and rushed, and in a way that I just did not enjoy that much. So if you had asked me a few hours ago, I would have said, for sure, this is a solid, like, 4 carrots out of 5. But I think ultimately I'm going to give the Granstream Saga 3 carrots out of 5 is going to be my final score for it. But let's hold off for a second. Let me go ahead and redo quite a few things, because I have to go back through fighting all those dragons, and then I have to fight Damar again. But I'll actually bring you guys back when we are sacrificing Arcia, so we'll see what she has to say, and then I'll cut the camera again, and I will bring you guys back when I've defeated Damar, and we will see what our final outcome with Arcia is going to look like. So give me just a second to do all of that hullabaloo again. One moment, friends. Alrighty, friends, we're back in the room of ultimate decision making, where we need to determine which of the girls we're going to sacrifice. As I just mentioned before we had taken a break, I'm going to sacrifice Laramie this time, because we were able to see the ending with Arcia being the one that was sacrificed. I already mentioned I don't know if I really liked the Laramie outcome. It just felt like it wasn't as satisfying of a conclusion to everything, but I think it is because we're supposed to technically get with Arcia. So we're going to have to talk to both girls again. I probably should have done this before bringing you back, but I've already started talking. So just again, to get you back into the feels of everything. Eon says, Arcia, is that you? She can't hear me. It must be an illusion created by the scepter. Eon, don't be sad. My body is just an illusion, but my soul is really speaking to you. Fate has brought us together again, and now we have the chance to set things right. I believe that you loved me even as Zerouge, because you sacrificed your life for me. And now I am happy to have a chance to repay you. Let's fight this evil demon and save the world. I love you, Eon, and now we are one. Okay. Thank you, Arcia. Laramie, this must be an illusion. Eon, can you hear me? Although you may feel guilt over my death, you shouldn't. Oh, I guess both of the girls died here, is what happened. No, because then Laramie was still with us when... So maybe everything... No, everything couldn't have been reincarnated, but everyone knew we had defeated. Yeah, because even that little girl mentioned the Ocarina book. So I don't know if they're really dead, or... I have no idea. This story just doesn't make sense at the end of all of this. I'm Nothing makes sense, because now we are one. I'm honored to be a part of this effort to save mankind. I still don't believe that you were evil in another life, but even if it's true, you've redeemed yourself. Take care of Arcia. She's a good person and will help keep peace in the new world. I'm ready, Eon. I will always be with you in your heart. Now you must choose. The soul you take will disappear for eternity. If you defeat Damar, the rest of the souls will be returned to their new world. But you must take either Arcia's or Laramie's soul in order to save everyone. Okay. That still doesn't make sense because Eon and Laramie were fine and we were back in the world as it was before the three of us came here to the gates of Hades, or Hades Gates, whatever this place is called. So I don't know what it's talking about. I guess, again, I think the story in the script was written with you saving Arcia in mind. So we'll see if all of this kind of makes more sense. Only one you truly love can help you win this final battle. Do you sacrifice Laramie? Yes. Her soul will now be sealed within your scepter. Are you ready? Yes. Eon, I'm honored, to have been a part of your fight. Don't grieve for me. This is the greatest gift I could give to humanity. Let us fight as one and return this world to its rightful path. I also think Laramie should have said she loved him. Again, this is what I mean when I said that I think the way things unraveled, if ever there was a time to tell him you loved him, it's right before you let him use your soul to save the entire world. But, maybe that's just me. Okay, I'm going to cut the camera again. I will go through the fight with Damar once more. He's just saying, Zerouge, why are you in such denial? Wouldn't you like to be part of this kingdom? Well, then I must destroy you like the rest. Be prepared, because I will make sure your death is a painful one. Mwahaha. Okay. I'll be right back, friends. As soon as I defeat Damar, we will circle back. Oh, I guess I want to show you guys some spells that we've not seen already. So even though this is hardly the time to use it, let's just use, what is this called? We've got Fire Sphere. I don't think I've ever cast this. I'm just going to use it. I've got plenty of items to go ahead and bring up my mana, and I'll be the one having to deal with this painfully long, tedious fight anyway, so it doesn't matter if I have the mana pool for it or not. Here is Fire Sphere. It's just a nice little, oh, he came right on down. Was not expecting that. We also have Flare Sphere, which is a huge explosion, consumes 180. Let me go ahead and bring up, I'll just use my miracle fruit. Well, I feel bad using my miracle fruit. What am I doing, you guys? It's the final fight. Am I really going to hoard mana even this late in the game? Answer, hell yeah. Ooh, it makes lots of little, do you like that? Oh, that actually did quite a bit of damage to him, but okay. I will tackle this fight on my own. I'll bring you guys back once I've defeated him. 1 second. Okay, he's gone. And actually, I'm going to tell you guys again, I don't think that fight was that bad. Now that I knew what to look for and how to kind of prep for it, if you're playing this blindly, I would tell you, I think the fireballs were the way to go. I did take a decent amount of damage, but I didn't really have to heal that much. I mostly just used my mana restorative items to bring up my mana, and then whenever he would drop, I just fired them flame balls at him, and he eventually fell. So it actually didn't take that long. That was the fight I should have probably left in and showed to you guys, but that's neither here nor there. So we defeated Damar, and again, now we are going to see the ending with Laramie being the one that was sacrificed and us preserving Arcia. So let's see what ending number 2, or technically probably ending number 1, is going to look like. I'm ready, game. Laramie, I did it. But now I must disappear with this evil world as atonement for my sins. No, Eon, you are not evil, Laramie. The evil things which you may have done in the past have been made up for with the good things. Perhaps you think that the only way to rid of Zerouge is to kill yourself. But that is not necessary. When you return to the past, you will have overcome your hatred and changed history. Laramie. Slazer and I don't have any regrets about sacrificing our souls for you. Don't feel guilty or sad, because there was no other way we could have won. When you return to the past, you will beat Eon the Prince. Oh, so by using Laramie and Slazer, this is going to actually erase this world and I guess redo Zerouge and Elamira's life, I guess. Okay. And Arcia will be your princess. You will live happily ever after. So long, Eon. Remember us in your heart. So that's what I thought. This is technically the true ending, I guess. And that makes more sense with what was being said about the world being reborn or like a certain world no longer existing. Because when we sacrificed Arcia, that's not what happened. She went to heaven, it seemed like, or has been playing games with us the whole time. And then Laramie and Eon were just in the world. But I guess we had cut off I don't know. I really don't understand the Laramie Eon ending. I think it was not totally sensical with the information that had been presented to us. But let's see what the reincarnated ending, I guess, will look like now that we are with Elamira again. Eon, Laramie is gone. It's so unfair. Laramie had nothing to do with the tragedy that caused this. I should be the one to sacrifice my soul. Don't cry, Arcia. Soon our souls will be released from this world and return to the past. Once we get there, we may not remember all that has happened here, just as we could not remember our past lives in this world. But I think this experience has made our souls wiser, and it has given us the knowledge to make better choices in the future. Actually, we can change history, and this cycle of destruction will never reoccur. Arcia, or Elamira, I really have... should say appreciated, but I really appreciate it. I thought I said I have really appreciated, but I'm the one that's adding words in here. The game's like, slow your roll, rabbit. Anyway, Arcia or Elamira, I really appreciate all that you have endured for me. And if I hadn't fallen in love with you, I would still be the Ma-O. Please stay by my side so that I will never become Ma-O again. Yes, I will. And this time we shall unite our souls. Arcia. Eon, I have one wish. Before we go back and risk the chance of forgetting all of this, let's retrace all we have experienced in this lifetime. Yes, let's try and remember everything. Close your eyes and take my hand. Yes, let's remember. Okay, so I guess now we'll see... Maybe they'll roll the cutscene now? The ending credits, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Or I don't know. They might immediately go into... Look, it's the town of Geltania. Oh, or I guess we're going back and looking at everywhere we've been. Yeah, it was a strange place. You were all in a trance and acting crazy. I can't remember anything from that period of time, except for when one of my royal guards from my past life came and comforted me. Could it be? Was it Gandor? Yeah, Gandor must have been one of your guards in the past. Now things are starting to make sense. Poor Gandor. I gave him so much trouble. And Corky. So many have come and gone. Yes, but not gone from our hearts. Yes, and they will always be there. Yeah, they didn't lose their souls. I think it was really only Slazer and Laramie. But if Slazer and Laramie were new souls introduced anyway, because Damar made it sound like Laramie didn't exist in the past. So maybe she was never meant to exist anyway? I don't know. Or she was going to be a new soul that would have been a part of this cycle and moved onward. I really don't know what the thought process for any of this reincarnation stuff is supposed to be. This used to be the way station for Volkos, says Eon. Yes, I really thought the eruption would be the end for all of us. It's amazing that we were able to survive it. And how about meeting two of the same person? Poor Zeruas. Oh, or maybe that was Eon saying all that. Anyway, we'll let Arcia continue saying, and maybe it was her talking. And I was also a bit embarrassed when we had to have our weight checked. You shouldn't have felt embarrassed. I wish I could have had a chance to thank Zeruas for saving me. I was so surprised to find out that Geinst was a descendant of the wise men. I'm glad he helped us and didn't reveal the secret of the verse to the wizardry. Yeah, we had a lot of help from the people here. Okay, two more. I guess Selila died, but I don't know how. This is the town of Picsham on the continent of Aquas. That's right, this is where we met Afto for the first time. I think he is fully recovered from that fall. And I've heard that all the Kells are back to normal. I'm so glad you were able to help these people. Who knows what would have happened without you? No, I had a lot of help. I wasn't the only hero here. Well, I'm just relieved that everyone is okay. And I guess we only have Shilf left. This is the town of Arona. Yes, this is where it all started. I'm so glad we were able to save this continent so our friends can live a long life. Valos, you taught me to do my best. Without your influence, I would have failed. I just wish you could still be here to enjoy this peaceful world. Well, his soul I don't think was sacrificed either, so technically he should go back to the past. Suddenly I feel strange. Perhaps it's time for us to part. Yes, it's time for our souls to return to the past. What if we don't remember each other? I think fate will bring us together, like it did in this world. We are bound together by a powerful destiny. Aww, and I think our fate will be a happy one this time. Let's go and rewrite history. Yeah, this was the true ending. I think they could have done more with the Laramie ending, though. I don't think it had to be so somber and just, well, we defeated Damar, and now everyone else has hope, but we have to still live with the pain of everything. I don't know why. I guess because her soul wasn't from the past, but then you would think we would be able to still move forward in a new world, and everything would be positive, and we'd be rebuilding places together. I think they did Laramie a little dirty in this.
The prince is the only survivor. Let's move out and find him. This way.
Corky?
Wait!
There, does that feel better?
Yes. Thanks, but why help me? I'm your enemy.
But you were hurt. I couldn't just let you lie there in pain because our people are at war.
But don't you know that you're supposed to fear and hate the enemy?
I don't believe in hating anyone. And besides, for some strange reason, I know I can trust you. Why?
Corky!
Huh?
Am I right? Is that his name?
Yes, it is. But how did you know?
I don't know. But he's so familiar to me. He's like an old friend.
From the moment I saw you, I felt I'd known you for a very long time.
And I feel the same way about you. I wish I could stay here longer and talk to you.
Princess, where are you?
Uh-oh. It looks like you've been found. I better get going before I am too.
Will I see you again?
Count on it. Nothing will keep me away. Bye.
Well, goodbye. For now.
So I guess that was the encounter of Zarouge and Elamira. And I guess in the first cycle, things went south because Zarouge/Eon was pissed off about his kingdom losing to Arcea's kingdom, or Elamira's kingdom, I guess. I think they could have done a better job of at least explaining the Elamira-Zarouge situation. But anyway, that's it, friends. I think the ending credits are going to be exactly the same. I mean, I don't know why it would change. We've already seen the two endings as, I guess they're going to be, whether you saved Arcea or you saved Laramie. So like I've already mentioned, it's clear that you're supposed to sacrifice Laramie. I think that's strange because if they're giving you the option, they should have had at least somewhat equally satisfying conclusions. But again, like I said, my thoughts on the game, you know, I think it started out really strong. I liked the characters a lot. I even think the plot twist of reincarnation is kind of cool. I just don't think they had either enough time or enough money to put everything into this game. Maybe it would have been better to try to tell this story through a traditional turn-based JRPG, you know, without trying to make the models 3D and have a fully rotating camera. That might have been a better way to do it. I don't know, I'm trying to think of how they could have fit everything it seemed like they wanted to say in this game. I don't know. They ran out of something, whether time, money, interest. Maybe they ran out of writers and they just were not able to tie everything together. They knew how they wanted it to end, and they knew how they wanted it to begin, and they just didn't know how to put the pieces together. I'm not really sure, but overall, I guess we're actually seeing now more from Arceus' thoughts, right? Because I think the little clips that we revisited just a moment ago were mostly from Laramie's perspective, right? Or is it exactly the same and I was too busy rambling during those cutscenes that I'm not recalling? Anyway, I guess we'll go through this a little bit longer and I can give you guys my final farewells. But not final in terms of journeys that we still have left to embark on together, but in terms of this game. So this will be it for Let's Blindly Play Through the Granstream Saga. As I began to mention an episode or two ago, I am so deeply appreciative of you guys joining me for this run. I know there are a lot of things that I could have done better, namely the combat, but I think for the most part, tackling this completely blindly with no prep, no planning, no nothing, I think we got through it in a decent amount of time, and I think we found most of the secrets in the game. I will say I don't think this is a game that has a high level of replayability. You know, I never fully, I guess, strung together Scepter Force, so I'm not sure what ultimate prizes could have been gained from doing that. I also never did much with that card guy that was back in the cave on... I don't even remember which continent that was on now. Wasn't that during the events with Salila? Or was it Tolku and Oracle? I really don't remember. But there was a guy that we could trade the cards to, so I never did that either. There might have been 2, maybe 3 or 4 secrets that I kind of overlooked. But again, I think for the most part, we really got to experience this game in almost its entirety. So I feel pretty good about saying that we did a good job of undertaking this journey together, and I am so deeply excited for what awaits us next. So if you guys did enjoy this, if you learned something, or, you know, if you just managed to have this running in the background while you do your chores or your homework or whatever is going on right now in your life, I do hope that I was able to bring a little bit of value to your daily routine. So again, if you did enjoy it and you did want to sponsor the series, as I mentioned in the very first episode, I do have a Patreon where you can give routinely, even if it's just as little as $1 to the channel. That does make a difference. Or you are welcome to also do one-time donations through either Ko-fi or my direct PayPal tip jar. All links to everything remain in the description boxes for every single video. And again, that's only if you feel like sponsoring the game and, you know, you want to support me outside of just watching. But please know that you sticking it out with me, commenting, liking, sharing, all of that good stuff means the world to me. So we won't, I guess, stick through all of the scrolling text here. We kind of saw everything just a little bit ago, and I don't want this to be a million hours long. So again, thank you for watching, everyone. I know I keep saying it, but I truly do mean it, that I appreciate you all joining me for the journey, and I can't wait until our next adventure together again. So until then, my friends, take care, be good, and I, your host, Rabbit, will see you in whatever we end up tackling next on the channel of Rabbit Plays Games. I'll see you guys there. Bye!